sunny side up, up, hide the side that gets blue. If you have 9 sons in a row, baseball teams make money, you know. Well, I have strummed and hummed and sung that old cheery old song for decades. Sort of identified with it, I suppose, because we were blessed in our family, are blessed to have enough sons to make a baseball team, plus 1 pinch hitter, and enough daughters to make a 5-member cheerleader squad. Of course, in a family team, everybody cheers and everybody plays. And so we were not typical in that sense, and not typical in that we did not make big money or even little money in baseball, though we did played a lot of other things as well. But the happy sound, the kind of keeping smiling, that's very important. The experts say that sometimes a family is kind of like a sports team, in that the children's take certain roles based on where they are in the family and their siblings. The oldest is very often serious, sort of leadership skills. The youngest, very often the darling of the family. And the children in between, the middle children, they become peacemakers and negotiators because they have to deal with the upper siblings and the lower siblings, and so they learn how to negotiate around. And well, Christy Haggard was one of those. She was the 4th child in a family of 5 siblings, so she was then a negotiator and a peacemaker, and she took the role with gusto, according to her sister. She said Christy was the most violent peacemaker I have ever seen. Well, that was her role, and she took it seriously. But we sat across the table from her the other night, and she didn't look violent to me. She also didn't look haggard to me. She was smiling, beaming smiles at everybody who came around, including us. But her greatest smiles were beamed at her brand new husband, Matt Haggard. I was charmed. Nostalgia set in, I remembered when we started our little team, as it were. Didn't do too badly for a 2-person team who was just learning how to pitch and catch, and then later on we added to that the team, and now we have enough grandchildren for a pretty good-sized pep club. It's been a great run. But I thought, those smiles, how important they are. They will be more important to you, Christy, and to Matt, and to all of us, than any amount of money we might have in our families. More important. A few years ago, I had the privilege of interviewing LeGrand Richards, and then writing a script about his life, a television script. Elder Richards was a member of the Council of 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And that is the second highest responsible administrating quorum in the church. Very important, big job, and sometimes could be very heavy responsibilities. But Elder Richards brought to it his usual just warmth. When I talked to him, he was in his 9th decade, but he still warmed our conversation with that love and that care, that keen sense of humor, a great smile. He just loved everybody in the world, and so many people loved him, and for very good reason. Elder Richards, one of the things he brought to the councils and to his other responsibilities was a perspective of a lifetime. Nothing came up in any of the councils or their discussions that he hadn't sort of seen before, probably worse, and knew that the world somehow got through those and would get through this. He was one of those people who believes the glass is half full, not half empty. You've heard that. But he was more than that. He was busy about filling the other half, no matter what it was. One of his favorite poems was, if I can remember how it goes, it was like this. For every worry under the sun, there is a remedy, or there is none. If there is a remedy, hurry and find it. If there is none, Never mind it. I think that's great wisdom. Great wisdom. Whether you're just starting out like Matt and Christy, or kind of winding it up like Elder Richards, or somewhere in between like most of the rest of us. Keep that smile on. Well, Elder Richards was unsinkable. Not too long after I talked with him, his circulation slowed down so much that they had to amputate one of his feet. And of course, his many friends were always concerned about him, and when they met him, they would say, "How are you, Elder Richards?" And he would smile and say, "Well, I'm just glad that the doctor started on that end." Stand upon your legs, be like 2 fried eggs, keep your sunny side up.